Necrozma hasn't had much action in Generation 9, especially losing the Ultra form from Generation 7. However, was able to make it into Day 2 of the San Antonio Regional Championship. We're going to be trying out an interesting team featuring Necrozma and Frosmoth and seeing how well it can perform. This is Zach's Necrozma Dusk Mane and Frosmoth team. Let's break it down. First, we have the Necrozma Dusk Mane with the Prism Armor and the Clear Amulet. A great combination with Clear Amulet, making it immune to the Intimidates from Incineroar, which is very helpful. And then the Prism Armor, which is a great ability because it's able to reduce damage from super effective attacks that Necrozma will take. And it is a pretty solid bulk overall, high attack stat. Although it is a really awkward typing in Psychic and Steel. But overall, it is a Pokemon that does have potential. However, not having that Ultra Necrozma form, giving it a second option as well as a potential more speed so it can be utilized more outside of Trick Room, is a downside from its peak in Generation 7. However, still a pretty interesting set with Terra Normal as the option because of the Calyx Shadow Riders, a Pokemon like Lunala that can be a little bit annoying. So having that Terra Normal option to be immune to those ghost type attacks. You have the Sunsteel Strike, which is a great move, a really strong steel type attack, which also has Mold Breaker properties. And then Photon Geyser, which is a very strong psychic type attack, which can be pretty powerful with Necrozma's high attack stat. Overall, with Necrozma, you just want attack in bulk, and that's pretty much where you're just going to focus on. Alongside Trick Room as a speed control method because it is not very fast. Next Pokemon we have is the Ogerpon Heartflame with the Mold Breaker and the Heartflame Mask, giving it to that fire typing. And Ogerpon is just a really strong Pokemon in this format, with Fire and Grass being great offensive coverages into common Pokemon like a Moongus, Rillaboom, or Shifu Water. So having that great coverage, the Follow Me redirection to help support Necrozma and get up the Trick Room can be a very nice support, as well as an offensive tool because it's pretty fast, able to do a lot of damage, and it just does put on a lot of pressure. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Landorus Incarnate with the Sheer Force and the Life Orb, a very strong combination with the Terra Steel as a defensive typing to help out against the Terry Fairy Miraidons, and can be very nice into Calyx Ice Riders Glacial Lance. Overall, this Landorus Incarnate, no surprise, is one of the strongest Pokemon right now because of the stacks of Life Orb Sheer Force. Able to do so much damage, one-shot Pokemon like Miraidon, which is a huge threat, and able to put on a lot of pressure with Spread, Sandsear, Storm, as well as the single target Earth Power, Sludge Bomb for the coverage against grass types, Terra Grasses that are able to resist the ground type moves. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Raging Bolt with the Assault Vest and the Photosynthesis, as well as that Terra Fairy option to help out with its Dragon weakness. And Raging Bolt really nice into Pokemon such as like Tornadus or Shifu combinations, which is very helpful because Necrozma does still take a lot of damage from Surging Strikes. With that Terra Normal, it is weak to the close combat. So having a Pokemon that can help out against Tornadus or Shifu, especially when the current Pokemon we've already discussed don't exactly appreciate Water or Shifu. That Assault Vest allows it just to be able to take attacks better, so it can switch into Pokemon like the Calyx Shadow Rider, for instance, as well as their Shifu double up. So it can be a very nice tool with Thunderbolt for consistent electric coverage, a Thunderclap, which is the priority electric type move, Electro Web for speed control, which can help support the Ogerpon, the Landorus, and their Shifu against faster threats such as like Miraidons and more, and Draco Meteor for the strong dragon type nuke. Next, we have the Darker Shifu with the Stellar Terra with Unseen Fist and the Focus Sash. Overall, Darker Shifu has fallen off quite a bit. We more commonly see the Water Shifu dominantly in the format, especially being able to hit Incineroar, as well as just being able to switch into Cali Ice more consistently. But the Darker Shifu is able to threaten the Cali Ice stronger, as well as Pokemon like those ghost types that Necrozma does not like dealing with, as well as Pokemon like Incineroar, which you would like another way to be able to hit. So being able to pressure all of those Pokemon like Cali Shadow, Lunala, and more. Overall, that Wicked Blow and Sucker Punch for really strong dark coverage, the close combat to help out against Terapagos and the other dark types. It's just a strong combination, pairs well with Landorus Incarnate as well as Ogerpon Heartflame for a pretty decent mid-tier speed overall offense, as well as the Electro Web support from the Raging Bolt can be a really strong combination with multiple priority options. And finally, we have the Frosmoth with the Safety Goggles and the Ice Scales, which is a really good ability for Frosmoth as it just reduces the damage it takes from special attacks. Frosmoth really just able to sponge those, and the safety goggles to help out against the powder moves, especially the Amoonguss Spore, and the Terra Dragon option, which is really helpful, as Frosmoth has been one of my favorite Pokemon in Generation 8, but its defensive typing, or its initial defensive typing, is really awful, with Ice Bug being one of the worst typings in the game defensively. So having Terra Dragon to help out against Water Urshifu, against fire type attacks from like Chi-Yu, from Incineroar even, just a very nice tool to how Frosmoth can stick around on the field with that defensive Terra and go for that wide guard support, which is really nice for Necrozma because of all these spread moves like Astral Barrage, which can be a thing against Dazzling Gleam from the Miraidons for their Urshifu and Raging Bolt, as well as Landorus Incarnate to be able to take. So having that wide guard option can be a very strong support. Water Spell from Kyurem can also be super threatening. So having that wide guard is a very nice tool. Ice Beam to actually pressure the grass type Pokemon as well as dragon Pokemon out there. The Bug Buzz as another coverage option because it can actually hit Calyx Ice Rider for some decent damage and protect to keep itself around. Zach does note that he really wanted wide guard ice scales. The fact that it is a resistance to both ground and ice gives it a good matchup into both Calyxes, as well as a great matchup into non-restricted staples like the Raging Bolt, Landorus Incarnate, Rillaboom, Whimsicott, Amoonguss, and Farigiraf, so it can hit it for some pretty heavy damage there. How does the team play? Overall, it has some pretty good offensive tools. You have the Landorus Incarnates, the Urshifu, as well as the Ogerpon Heartflame that's just able to do a ton of damage. We saw this combination even in Regulation F before, but it's still a pretty good offensive toolkit. You do have to follow me redirection from the Ogerpon to help support the Landorus, the Necrozma, the Urshifu, and even the Raging Bolt. The Raging Bolt able to provide some more extra speed control with the Electro Web, and since it's holding that Assault Vest, really hard to be able to pick up a knockout into Raging Bolt. Landorus Incarnate has a really strong spread move that the Restricted is lacking and just threatens a ton of damage alongside the Dark Urshifu with the Wicked Blow in the close combat. The wide guard support from Frosmoth can help out with all those strong spread moves out there, as well as the Necrozma giving speed control, a really good defensive typing in Steel, which is pretty nice, so it can actually set up Trick Room pretty consistently, as well as hit pretty hard because Sunsteel Strike and Photon Geyser are nice Steel type coverage for the Calyx Ice Riders and more, while the Photon Geyser can help out against the Urshifu, which is a common switch into the Sunsteel Strike, while the Landorus and Urshifu can hit the Incineroars. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. All right, we have Koraidon with Tornadus, Fluttermane, Hisuian Arcanine. There is Walking Wake and Annihilate. What the heck am I looking at right here? All right, not what I would anticipate. I think I'm just gonna lead Ogerpon, which is generally pretty safe against the team. Have Necrozma around. I can get Trick Room up. Okay, go with like Lando Ursh in the back as pressure because Frosmoth can't do anything offensively. Wide guard doesn't really help me here. Yeah, I just think it's a pretty dead slot. Raging Bolt could have definitely been brought and definitely had some potential. I don't think I need it because I think Lando puts on a lot of pressure, and of course Dark Ursh does as well. But yeah, there could be quite a few things that I have to worry about. One is like the lead. Final Gambit 8 would be pretty bad. And trying to figure out like, okay, Final Gambit Ape, and then what am I dealing with afterward? Luckily, I can double protect with both my Pokemon to scout for Final Gambit, which is nice. But yeah, it really comes down to partner wise. Like, do they have taunt? Like, do they lay like Final Gambit plus like a taunt use of like Flutter? It might not be Taunt Flutter though. It's probably like, would it be Taunt Torn on this team? It might be Sunny Day Torn. I can't really tell. Let's figure it out. I do want Trick Room up though. Trick Room is really important to setting up this game, and we'll see if we can accomplish that. If we get Trick Room up, we could probably sweep with Dark Ursh. Like, Dark Ursh does put on a lot of offensive pressure against them. Horn Flutter. That is not what I anticipated, but that works out. I mean, I don't go down to Shadow Ball. Worst case is they have Taunt. I don't know if they have Taunt. I think I'm just going to Ivy Cudgel the Flutter and Trick Room attempt. If they Taunt, that's a turn that they're not going for Bleak Wind or Shadow Ball. I'll be able to take both attacks, I think. They shadow ball the ogre pawn. Interesting. Okay. A death drop doesn't change anything. I get the Ivy Cudgel off into the flutter. Focus Sash. Focus Sash. Okay. And Bleak Wind, which is fine. Okay. Ogre pawn goes down. I mean, I got a better turn than if I clicked Follow Me plus Trick Room, so that definitely will be huge for me. All right. Trick Room does come out. I think this is an Ursh switch here. And I'm just going to go for a Detect with Ursh so I can set up a double KO potentially the next turn by going for Photon Geyser into the Torn slot and Detect the Ursh. Then I could go for Wicked Blow, Photon Geyser again. Because the big question is, how fast is this Torn? Because it was slower than my Ogre Pawn, which is pretty big deal, which means the Ursh is probably slower, realistically, than the Torn. Also don't have Trick Room on the Flutter for some reason. Photon Geyser into Torn actually does a lot of damage. Bleak Wind. I guess I could Sucker Punch in Trick Room, but I have to play mind games with Taunt. Oh my goodness, they actually do have Trick Room. Okay. Well, we'll find out the implications. I feel like Torn has always been the one attacking, so I don't think they actually have Trick Room on Torn. I'm just gonna Trick Room with Necrozma and Sucker Punch the Torn. If they go for Trick Room with the Flutter, I think it makes sense here. But I do not think it's Trick Room Torn. This actually might work out better for me, even though I might lose my Ursh Sash. This actually might help me just because of the fact that I get to set up more turns of Trick Room. Arcanine coming in. All right. I do have to clear amulets. I'm fine with that. Oh, that's Rockhead Arcanine. It's not Intimidate. We do get the KO onto the Torn though, and Trick Room does go up. Perfect. Okay, I mean, it's still a strange game, but it works out for me. So this should be Necrozma. There's no way you go Flutter here. If you go Flutter, that's insane to me. Yeah, Koraidon comes out. Terra-wise, not really anything I'm specifically looking for. I think I'm just going to close combat the Arcanine, and I'm going to go for Photon Geyser into the Koraidon. It forces the Koraidon to Terra, and if it tears into fire, that means it's weak to Lando. I would like to pressure the Arcanine if I can with close combat, because I'm worried about Rock-Slide flinches if this is slower than my Ursh. We're going to see a Terra come out from my opponent. Going to be Koraidon, yep. Air Fire, not surprising. Okay. So now Lando beats it. Photon Geyser, no protects. A critical hit, that did so much damage. They went for Flare Blitz. KOs my Necrozma, but regardless, like, even if I didn't crit the Koraidon, I'm pretty sure that next turn I could just Wicked Blow to Flutter. I can Earth Power to Koraidon, and I'm pretty sure that I'm like in a really good position. Unless the Koraidon for some reason is slower than my Lando. So goodbye to the Arcanine as Drain Punch. Yes, I don't think the crit really matters because I don't think it's going to change any numbers. Yeah. All right. I mean, it's still going to come down to who's faster, Koraidon or Lando. And if it's Koraidon, I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be very sad. Flutter comes in. We always go for Wicked Blow into Flutter because we want to make sure we get rid of it. And we Earth Power the... I guess I should Terra Steel to Lando just in case. Actually, no, this is Trick Room Flutter. Shadow Ball Moonblast, right? I'm just going to Earth Power to Koraidon. Yeah, I get the Wicked Blow into Flutter, I get the KO on Flutter, and then Earth Power into Koraidon, hopefully KOs. I mean, I should win the game anyway because they're forced to Flare Blitz and they take a bunch of Rico. Wait, it is slower and has Fire Fang. What? Thank goodness I did not Terra Steel, man. Also, why are you Fire Fang? Why are you slower than Orlando Eye? Why are you Fire Fang? If that was like Temper Flare at least, it KO'd. Sure. I don't know what's up with this. I don't know what's up with this, man. All right, we have Calyx, Ice Rider, Torkoal, Cresselia, Ursaluna with Galarian, Zapdos, and the Fluttermane. All right, we have some scary mons with Trick Room especially. This team, not exactly the biggest fan of dealing with Trick Room, although especially Sun Trick Room. Sun Trick Room is the scary part because that Torkoal is actually a huge threat. Do I even want to bring Necrozma? I probably do. It's still pretty decent in the Calyx Ice Rider. There is coaching though on the Galarian Zapdos I have to watch out for. And I knock out Cresselia. I guess it depends on its Terra because maybe Wicked Blow and a Sunsteel Strike can knock out Cresselia in one shot. Not exactly 100% certain. I think I bring... I don't think I bring Raging... No, I do bring Raging Bolt. I think I need Raging Bolt for the Torkoal. Ursaluna is going to be a tough Pokemon to deal with, though. That mon's so bad for my team. I think I do bring the Urshifu. I think I bring the Necrozma. At least I can reverse Trick Room, which is pretty solid. In the back, I think I bring Frosmoth because I do want the Wide Guard in case Torkoal gets a bit out of hand. And then I think I bring the... I want to say I do bring the Raging Bolt. Maybe it's Heartflame, though. You know what? I'm going to bring Heartflame. Actually, I feel like I can't damage Torkoal, so maybe I should have still brought the Raging Bolt. I'm a bit worried about Ursaluna, which is why I decided, hey, I'm going to bring the Ogre Palm, but I think it might have actually been better to bring the Raging Bolt because the Photosynthesis would give me a powerful Draco Meteor at least, so that's tough to call. We'll see what my opponent decides to lead here. It's going to be Calyx and Cresselia, that's fine, as we do lead our Urshifu and our Necrozma. Wicked Blow into Sunsteel Strike is looking pretty good into Cresselia. I imagine probably Safety Goggles or Mentalor would be the item. I don't think it's Rocky Helmet. I also put on a lot of pressure against Calyx. I don't know if they're going to Terra or not. Like, only one of these Pokemon can Terra, which is a pretty big deal. So I'm just going to go for Sunsteel Strike and a Wicked Blow. Now, the problem is, where's the Trick Room coming from? Like, Cresselia is probably the obvious one because it has a lot less to utilize here, because it would probably be more likely to go for Trick Room while Calyx Ice Rider could fire off a Glacial Lance. Yet, are they going to Trick Room up with the Ice Riders? The question. Are they going to go for damage? Are they going to go for the Terra? Do they expect me to double up the Cresselia, knock it out, and then they get Trick Room up? That means Torkoal gets a free switch, which would not be pleasant. So there's a lot riding on the line here. Ooh, we see Calyx switch out, which is incredible for me. Is this Ursaluna? Wow, that's... okay. That's potentially very risky by them, but we do see a Terra from the Cresselia. I wonder what Terra this is. I feel like Fairy would be a pretty common Terra, but let's see. Dark. Ooh, okay, that's not as fun to deal with. Okay. So it's Terra Dark as we do go for the Wicked Blow into the Cresselia. Get some decent chip damage, and we are going to be able to go for the Sunsteel Strike into the Cresselia as well. We have forced a Terra, which is at least one positive, so that means Ursaluna can't Terra. And this is going to be a pretty questionable next turn because they have a lot of options. They get the Flame Orb with the Ursaluna here, and now... what does the Ursaluna do? That's a good question. What does the Ursaluna do? Do they respect the Urshifu? They got to respect Reverse Trick Room. There is so much that could go strange for them. I think my best play... they could go for Earthquake and like Dazzling Gleam. Necrozma should be able to tank one though. I think my best play is just a close combat to Cresselia and Reverse Trick Room. Did so much damage to Cresselia with Sunsteel Strike. I think I KO with another one. Yeah, I'm just not gonna protect. I think I'd rather go on the offense. Even if I lose Urshifu at the cost, I think this is still pretty good. So we see Earthquake come out. As I said, I'm able to take it. They go for a Lunar Blast. What? That's so greedy here. That's so greedy. I will gladly take that though. I will gladly take that because I get a free close combat into the Cresselia. I pick up the knock on the Cresselia, and now I get to reverse Trick Room with my Necrozma. That's incredible for me. I will gladly take that. Oh man, that is great for me. Okay, so Cresselia goes down. I'm able to reverse Trick Room with my Necrozma. And now we have a chance to double up the Calyrex if we want to. We could also close combat the Ursaluna if I also, but there's a lot I could do. There should be Calyrex Ice Rider always coming in because if you go Torkoal, like, it's just such a bad spot for you if you do go Torkoal. I want to set up a position for Ogerpon to win. We're going to see. Oh, that is Torkoal actually. Okay. I'm all right with this. Because I do threaten some pretty heavy damage. I think I'm just going to detect Urshifu. And I'm just going to Photon Geyser and get that damage into the Torkoal slot. They could protect and go for Earthquake, but that's all right by me. Yeah, they did. Okay, that's fine. Because I think getting the free switch to Ogerpon is actually still a pretty good thing. Because I can go for Terra Fire and threaten so much damage into Torkoal. And we confirm it's not Specs Torkoal, which is actually good to know. So they go for Earthquake, which is fine. I think I can win my endgame with the Ogerpon Heartflame plus the Frosmoth in the end. There's no way I don't KO, right? Like, I'm going Ogerpon here. I'm going for my Terra Fire strongest attack. And I'm hoping that I get the KO. Let's see. A close combat might KO Ursaluna. So I could either Wicked Blow or close combat into the Torkoal slot and go for the Terra Fire Ivy Cudgel into the Ursaluna. I think I'm okay with going. You know what? I'm okay with going for close combat and Ursaluna. With the burn, it's like really likely for me to KO, I think. And then I'm just going to go for Terra Fire Ivy Cudgel into the Torkoal. I'm worried if Ursaluna goes for... Well, if it goes for Protect on my Ogerpon. I was about to say Terra, but it can't Terra. So I'm going to go for Terra Fire with the Ogerpon. I should be doing a massive amount of damage. And then close combat, I think, should knock out the Ursaluna at this range. Because usually it's a roll... But with the burn chip, I don't think it is anymore. So I go for the Ivy Cudgel. Gonna target down the Torkoal. Get a massive amount of damage. Yeah, that's like really huge damage. I probably did knock out Ursaluna with Ivy Cudgel. But I wanted to play around like no protects. Beautiful. So I'm able to get rid of the Ursaluna. Plus Torkoal going for Eruption, Heat Wave. Earth Power is not going to KO because they're not choice specs. So that's fine. They go for the Overheat. Oh, wait. Are you Jetpack? Eject Pack makes sense on this team, but it doesn't really change anything. It does, I guess. They get -2, but I mean, that means no Charcoal, which makes it freer. Yeah, okay. So that's fine. I guess I could see outs for them, though. That's my issue. I can see outs for them. It depends on the Torkoal set, but I guess this could get a little bit annoying. We are going to go Frosmoth. I don't think I can ever risk Calyrex Ice Rider. Well, here's the thing. The Ivy Cudgel into Calyrex is so obvious. Protect can be very obvious, but it depends heavily on this Torkoal set. I don't think Wide Guard changes anything. Actually, does it? I think my best play is just to protect Frosmoth and then Ivy Cudgel the Calyrex. My only fear is Calyrex Ice Rider protects and this is Yawn or Fissure on the Torkoal. But it looks like that's not going to be the case. Don't be Focus Sash Cali Ice for some reason. There's no way that exists. Yeah, Calyrex Ice Rider goes down. I think I should have this as long as the Torkoal does not have... Okay, it's not Fissure. Yeah, it goes for Overheat. Whew. I guess it makes sense because I think your only place to get out of this game is if Torkoal has Yawn or Fissure. Fissure, I either had to target the Torkoal slot, reading a Calc's Ice Rider Protect, or if it is Fissure, I just dodge it. And then if it was Yawn, I just have to hope that Cali Ice doesn't get a double protect. So that's basically what I played to, and I felt like those odds I was willing to take there in that spot. So nice. Urshifu Necrozma doing actually some pretty decent work. Just reversing the Trick Room. Being able to tank a Guts Facade, or not Facade, Earthquake is pretty good. And yeah, that Cresselia just played greedy. I was expecting Dazzling Gleam plus Earthquake because Urshifu carries Sash. Maybe they thought, oh, he's just going to double protect to stall out the Trick Room. But yeah, I would rather just reverse it since I threatened Cresselia. You can't get the knockout on both Pokemon. Like, the only way you get the knockout is like, what? Helping Hand Earthquake, KO Necrozma, or maybe like Headlong Rush there into Necrozma might KO. But even then, like, they just didn't have enough firepower because of the Focus Sash plus the Prism Armor, just giving me a barrier to always be able to survive any combinations where I just can't lose both Pokemon that turn regardless. Kyogre Tornadus with Urshifu, Rillaboom, Zapdos, and the Archaludon. Ooh, okay. This is going to be definitely an interesting game. I like Frosmoth, which actually is pretty good here. Frosmoth is actually pretty good. I will be bringing Frosmoth, and I think I bring the Raging Bolt. Yeah, I think it is pretty strong here. Unironically, I'm not sure how much I like Necrozma. Unironically, I have no idea if I actually even like Necrozma in this matchup. I do like the Dark Ursh, and I do like Lando for the Archaludon just in case it becomes too problematic. You know, I'm not going to bring the Necrozma. The problem with Necrozma in this matchup is it's decent, but I don't think it really has enough reward here. I guess because I'm scared of Ursh and Kyogre. Well, only one of those Pokemon can Terra, so I'm kind of okay with like Water Spouts and all. But I don't know. It just feels like I'd be sitting there most of the time and taking a lot. All right, we see Rillaboom and the Tornadus, which is absolutely fine. I'm going to protect Frosmoth. I'm just going to go for a Thunderbolt straight into Tornadus. Is this Self Bullet Seed with loaded dice into our Archaludon switch? No. No. I mean, if it is, I still have a Lando, so it's not like awful, but that's not a great start. That would not be a great start. I want the Thunderbolt in the Torn because I can pressure with Thunderclap the next turn, so I don't have to worry about Bleak Wind. I get an Ice Beam or Bug Buzz. I'd probably Bug Buzz the Rilla the next turn. Protect the Frosmoth. Let's see who they fake out. Or they don't fake out, they just Tailwind. Is this High Horsepower U-turn? High Horsepower, okay. That is Choice Banded, okay. All right. I don't love that, but it's manageable, I suppose. I mean, I'm just gonna Bug Buzz the Rilla and swap in Landorus because if there's no Archaludon, Lando's not really that useful. We're gonna see the swap. Okay. Into Kyogre. Oh, is this taunting the Frosmoth? I really hope this isn't taunting the Frosmoth. All right, let's see. Bring in the Lando. Oh, they just Bleak Wind. Okay. Not as bad, but still not great. I do get a Bug Buzz off into Kyogre for some pretty decent chip. I would like to confirm if it's Scarf Kyogre potentially the next turn. And also, like, if it is Scarf, what it would lock into here. I will just double protect here. I want to scout if the Kyogre maybe has, like, single target moves, which would be threatening. I might hard switch to Dark Urge so I can just go for a Wicked Blow afterward. Like, Wicked Blow threatening the Kyogre seems really nice. Especially if the Torn has no way to stop my Frosmoth from just spamming Wide Guard. If it's like Rain Dance on the Torn, that makes it easy. The Torn retreats into our Caledon. Okay. I don't hate that. Origin Pulse, sure. Kind of a tricky spot, but still very manageable. I don't think I'll lift Flash Cannon from our Caledon, but having a Wide Guard turn is pretty valuable here. So I'm going to Wide Guard, and I'm just going to go for a Terra Steel to cover for an Ice Beam and Sandsear, because I need the damage in our Caledon. And then I think with everything close to Wicked Blow, Sucker Punch range, I think I'll be good. So let's see. Bring out the Terra Steel on the Lando. Wide Guard here. Nice. Origin Pulse. I mean, it would have been better to Terra Frosmoth and click Wide Guard, but I'm covering for the Ice Beam just to be sure. Flash Cannon? Or are they going for a different tech? I'm fast in our Caledon, which is really interesting here. Okay. Alright. Electroshot. That works out really well for me. Okay. Into Frosmoth? I'll definitely take this. You call that damage, buddy? You call that damage? Also, why is that our Caledon so slow? I guess it's like max bulk for Alley Ice. Okay. Don't know what you're gonna click here, but I think my best play is just a Sandsear and... Well, it's definitely a Sylvester or Caledon. I feel like Kyogre switches out. If you stay in and you're Scarf, I'm going to be super upset. But I'm trying to catch Rila, potentially. We see a Terra. A Caledon? Okay. Bug. I haven't expected Bug Terra in a bit. I think we're still alright. Actually, Frostmoth might be faster than Dark Caledon because it's so slow. Okay, Kyogre protects. That's fine. It can't... Okay, so it's not Scarf Kyogre, which is massive, and the Arcaladon just Terra'd. All right. Yeah, Frosmoth is faster than Arcaladon. That's actually really important to note here. Because where are you going with Arcaladon? You go for the body press in Orlando. I'm okay with that trade. I realistically am okay with that trade. Because now I just get in my... I'm pretty sure Ice Beam knocks out the Arcaladon. And I'm like very confident I'm faster than Arcaladon with Frosmoth. As the terrain disappears from the battlefield, that's fine. We go out into Ursh. We just go for a Wicked Blow into the Kyogre, and we go for an Ice Beam into the Arcaladon. And unless the Arcaladon survives the Ice Beam, which I don't think it will, single target Ice Beam is pretty strong. We should be in a great spot. Because we should be getting a double knockout here. And I don't see what they could do to stop the double knockout. Yeah, I just don't see a way. Wicked Blow should easily do this much to Kyogre. And they give me Kyogre, which is great. So Kyogre goes down. Alright. And Ice Beam will KO the Arcaladon. We get a crit. I don't think it mattered. This Frosmoth actually has some pretty decent special attack, and this one does have investment, so goodbye Arcaladon. Alright, Rila plus the Torn as the Blast. Also, we know that it is definitely Choice Banded Rila. Based on the damage. Torn comes in. I'm clicking Wide Guard and I'm clicking Wicked Blow into the Torn. Unless my calcs were completely wrong with the amount of damage you were doing to Raging Bolt. Like, I just don't see it. I think I always get the Wide Guard. I always go for the Wicked Blow into Torn. This prevents Bleak Wind from happening while I don't have to play Sucker Punch Mind Games with the Torn and always get a knockout. So I can force the Rillaboom into isolation. Rillaboom can only target one of these Pokemon at a time generally. There's only one way I see this going bad. There's only one way I see this going bad. And that's if it's Choice Band Bullet Seed Rilla and hits all 5 hits into my Ursh. Because that probably KOs it. That's the only way I see this going wrong here. Maybe if it's Helmet on the Torn, I guess that could also be annoying, but I think we'd be fine still. The Wide Guard, prevent the Bleak Wind from coming out. That one does come out, yep. Brick Break. If you log in a Brick Break, you just lose to Frosmoth. Well, I guess it's neutral against Frosmoth, but there's no way that it's like actually a good move. Okay. So goodbye, Torn. And I think I have this. I'm going to go for Ice Beam and Wicked Blow. I guess I should go for Close Combat because I can crit anyway. And yeah, I should have went for Close Combat actually. Because it does a bit more. I have a chance to crit Close Combat, which is stronger than crit Wicked Blow anyway. Like even without a crit on Close Combat. So yeah, there was that. But oh man, okay, Frosmoth putting in work there. Wide Guard, super clutch. It wasn't Scarf Ogre. They didn't go for the Ice Beams to cover the Wide Guard. And look at how well Frosmoth was able to take the attacks. That's just insane to me. Like how well we were taking the Electro Shot. All right, we have Calyx, Shadow Rider with Whimsicott, Iron Hands, Urshifu, Clefairy, and the Ogerpon. All right, this is going to be scary. But we do have some Necrozma action, and Necrozma is actually pretty decent against the team, especially with Terra Normal. We have Dark Ursh as well. I do like Dark Ursh, so I think I'm actually just going to lead Dark Ursh plus Necrozma because it's super threatening to their side. I want to bring Frosmoth for Wide Guard if I need it. Not necessary though, but I think it's still pretty good to have, and I probably want Ogerpon or... I want Raging Bolt or do I want Ogerpon? Both aren't bad here. Probably I would want... I think I want always a better answer to Ursh. Even though I really like Ogerpon for some heavy hitting damage, I think just having a better answer to Ursh is just always necessary. Water Ursh is just always so difficult, tricky maneuver. Especially with a bunch of redirection. So let's see what they're going to decide to go for. Lead wise, it's going to be Iron Hands and the Calyx. No, Iron Hands. Dark Ursh. Good to know. All right, I gotta get this play right because it could go really poorly if I don't. I think this is always fake out Ursh. The question is, what are you doing with your Ursh? Are you gonna go for Close Combat? Raging Bolt was my answer to Ursh. I'm gonna go for Detect with my Ursh and hope that they go for a Wicked Blow into my Raging Bolt. Yeah, Dark Ursh ended up being tougher. I thought it'd be Water to help out against Hinson, but that is not the case. Got the Raging. See, I could have definitely got this call wrong. Fake out an Ursh. Please be Wicked Blow. That'd be ideal. Shoot, I should have went for it. I should have went for the attack. Okay. I don't hate this spot, but it's not ideal. I'm gonna go for Electroweb, and I'm just gonna Close Combat the Ursh, I think. This covers if they protect for some reason. This covers if they sucker. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for Close Combat. Because at least if I get the Electroweb, I'll have some speed advantage to threaten the Ursh. Okay, retreat Iron Hands. This could be like Clef or something. Yeah. So I'm kind of glad I made this play. They go for Sucker... Wait, what? They Sucker Punch a Raging Bolt. Sure. I will absolutely take that. Okay. I guess they got too fancy there. It works out huge for me. I got the KO into the Ursh, and now Clefairy is taking quite a bit of damage as well. That Electro Orb actually did a lot. It's definitely a physically defensive Clefairy. Okay. Alex coming in. You have to follow me in this spot. I think I always just Thunderbolt the Clef. And I swap out into Frosmoth. The game is nowhere near over, but definitely looking more promising. I didn't Electro up just because I'm a bit fearful of like what the Cali attack is. Afterward, yeah, they go for follow me. Like, I'm scared of Covert Cloak on the Cali. That's what I'm scared of. There should be... Oh, they went for Astro. That actually works out well because Frosmoth switches in pretty nicely into this. Yeah. I get a Thunderbolt off into Clef. Nice. I guess the question is, what move do I think the Cali has as the last? That's going to be a good question. I'm going to go for the Thunderclap and an Ice Beam, I think, into the left, right? Yeah. I go for Protect. I probably should have Thunderclapped Ice Beam to Cali, but that's still alright. Oh, they Astroed again. I didn't think they would Astro again because of the Wide Guard threat. Okay, this is going to be a bit weird, but it should still be manageable. Again, our Terra... I do have the Terra on my... Still a bit weird, but I mean, it's manageable. I go Necrozma now and I click Wide Guard, plus I go for Photon Geyser into the Clefairy slot because this covers an Iron Hands play. I really hope that they're going to Astro again. If they Psyshock, that's fine. If they Draining Kiss, that's fine. If they Nasty Plot, that's perfectly acceptable. So let's see. I do need to get rid of Follow Me Mon. I do expect the swap into Iron Hands or a Follow Me coming out. Okay. Follow Me. Going me Astro would be really nice here. Nice. And now we get the Photon Geyser KO into Clef, so the Calyx is low. I'm still scared of Iron Hands, but this should be manageable now. I think you're gonna fake out is the question. I think you would fake out the Frosmoth, but we'll see. I think I always Sunsteel Strike the Cali and normal Terra because if they fake out the Frosmoth, then it's fine. I'm gonna Wide Guard here just to protect Frost. Actually, I should have protected Frosmoth because Protect and Wide Guard are the same odds, but this covers for a Psyshock into Frosmoth as well. Cali Terra is perfect. Oh, it's Water Terra. That's worse. Okay. All right, this game is very close. Very close. It's gonna come down to a Ursh mind game with Sucker Punch, I think. Okay. No fake out. Oh no, they did fake out. Okay, it's into Necrozma. I forgot that white. Oh, that's bad. Well, Terra Blast was not on my list. Great. It's possible, but I need to get every call right now. I have to get every call right. I have to hope that they're going to Terra Blast again into Necrozma. Which they could just target down the Frosmoth. I think targeting down Frosmoth would be very fair here. Okay. I need Bug Buzz to do big damage to put in Sucker Punch range. I need to threaten with Sucker Punch too. Okay. That's gonna be super close. I don't know if Sucker Punch KOs. Okay, Drain Punch. Oh, it's so close of a mind game right here. Ursh Sucker Punch might threaten the Cali, but I don't know. That Cali did take the attack well. I gotta read if Cali protects or not. If Cali protects, then I Wicked Blow always into that slot. Like, I'm always going for Photon Geyser into Iron Hands. The question is, do I do I Wicked Blow the Cali or do I Sucker Punch? Sucker Punch is very obvious though. Yeah, Wicked Blow or Sucker Punch. They might think they survive Sucker Punch, but I think I Wicked Blow. Okay. Okay, let's go. Because I get the Wicked Blow off. Goodbye, Cali. Oh my goodness. Yeah. It's a Sucker Punch mind game, and I got it right. Oh man. I literally just had to get the call right, and I had a feeling that they might protect because of the way they've been playing. But Photon Geyser is going to come out into the Iron Hands. I was about to say, I was like one shot the Iron Hands. Incredible. Oh. When I saw the Terra Blast call, which was super smart, I kind of forgot that Wide Guard and Fake Out would be in the same range of expectation there. So I guess I should have just Bug Buzzed. Even if I Bug Buzz, it doesn't really change the long term, right? But then again, I would probably like my play is not to Terra then. I still have a technical mind game. Even then, it's kind of awkward. I don't think it changed too much now that I think about it. The fact that it was Terra Blast though was a nightmare, but oh man, getting the call right, it was just all about that mind game. And I felt like it was a lot about respecting it, the obvious plays, and I felt like I did go for like a lot of obvious plays for the most part. So that's why I felt like, okay, Sucker Punch, Wicked Blow. I think this is the turn to go aggressive, and it worked. Oh boy, we have a very tough team with Whimsicott, Zacian, Chi-Yu, Regidrago, Amoonguss, and Wellspring Ogerpon. Yikes, this is going to be tough. This is going to be really, really tough. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how I'm breaking through this offense. I do have a Fairy Bolt, but they also have a lot of threats. Also, it's usually what? Terra Grab. This is going to be so rough. I don't know who they're leading. I think I want to lead Raging Bolt. Gonna be so strange because I'm not sure what to do. I don't even know if Darker really helps in this matchup. I think I'm gonna go Raging Bolt plus Frosmoth. I don't think they go Tailwind mode against me, but maybe I'm wrong. I think I go with Heart Flame in the back so I can beat Zacian and have Necrozma. I feel like a Chi-Yu lead is kind of likely. So that's why I want to lead Raging Bolt, because Chi-Yu lead means that I could have an okay time with Raging Bolt, but I have no clue. It could be like Raging Bolt Chi, or it could be like Chi-Yu Zacian and it'd be really bad. Okay, Amoonguss Chi-Yu is probably super ideal for me. It is super ideal for me. Okay. I'm going for Electro Web. And I am going to Ice Beam Terra Dragon the Amoonguss. I need pressure into Amoonguss. I need the damage into that Amoonguss especially. I have Safety Goggles, so I don't have to worry about Spore in that slot. It might be Spore into the Raging Bolt though, but we'll see. It could be Snarl from the Chi if they have Snarl. But I kind of need that Moongus gone so I can set up Trick Room potentially later in this game so I have a chance. They go for Overheat to predict a Wide Guard. That's so good for me. That's so good for me. I break a potential Focus Sash on the Chi because they sometimes run Sash. I also want an Electro Whip to cover for a Terra Water if I needed to. Ice Beam from Frosmoth I don't think will KO the Amoonguss unless this is really max physical defense. You know, thank you, Beats of Ruin Chi. I did not think that was KOing, but apparently it does. That is massive. I don't know who the back is though. Is it Drago? No, it'd probably be like what? Like Wellspring Zacian? Zacian's always coming out, yeah. They have Terra. I don't know who you're gonna... You can only KO one Mon here though. With Zacian. Which gives me opportunities. I'm gonna Draco Meteor to Chi-Yu. I think I Ice Beam to Chi-Yu as well. They do not have a switch. Yeah. If it's Drago, I want to catch the Drago on the switch. Chi-Yu's retreats. Whimsicott. Okay, that's bad. Because that probably means you're targeting down my... I mean, I think you targeted on the Frosmoth, right? Maybe you target on the Raging Bolt, but that's okay. You have to be targeting Frosmoth, right? There's no way you Terra Ground in front of it. No, they went for the Terra Ground Terra Blast into Raging Bolt in case I went for Terra Electric. Wait, no. I guess they were trying to cover for a swap here. I mean, that works for me, but I don't know how well this is going to be worth it. I do get the Ice Beam into the Whimsicott. It's Focus Sash Whims. Okay. This works out fine for me. Because I get to go Ogerpon. Just don't be Endeavor Whimsicott and I think we're fine. Do I want to Woodhammer here? Terra Ground, Terra Blast. This Ogerpon isn't like... It's bulky. I think Follow Me Ice Beam's okay into Zacian, but we'll see. All right, they stay in. That's ideal. I do get an Ice Beam off. Hopefully get the KO into Zacian. They Terra Ground Terra Blast. Does this KO Ogerpon? I don't think it does. Oh, no shot. It. Yeah, it definitely didn't. Okay. So I get an Ice Beam off into Zacian. It's not enough. We should Moonblast the Ogerpon. He even played the Frosmoth, right? I'm gonna try to go Necrozma and protect the Frosmoth. I need to figure out a way to get Trick Room up, and I just feel like the only way I can get Trick Room up is and have Frosmoth around is... Oh, them protecting is really good for me. I think they probably just Moonblasted the Necrozma then. And if that's the case, I can get Trick Room up. Okay. Blast. To Frosmoth. That's so good for me. That's so good for me. Do I need Trick Room up? It's ideal. It's not necessary. Do I want a Photon Geyser? I think I Trick Room. I do think I Trick Room and go out in Ogerpon. I just wonder if I should have Woodhammered instead. If Woodhammer KO'd the Zacian, I probably should have just went hard Frosmoth into... Yeah, I should have went Frosmoth into Necrozma Woodhammered then. Encore, what? Oh, because I protected the previous turn. Wait, that works out really huge for me because I can actually redirect the Encore now and I can go for a KO, which is massive actually. Because this doesn't KO Necrozma. Beautiful. And I get Trick Room up. Okay. Now we got to focus down on KOing that Zacian. I go for Sunsteel Strike. I'm going to target the Whims, I guess, and I'm going to follow me. I think you got to go for the Last Ditch Encore. This works out. Like, no matter who they get to KO, this works out for me. Sunsteel Strike, okay. Whimsicott goes down. Zacian is going to attack. Oh, this is going to be super close of an endgame. I guess the question is, what's doing more? Sunsteel Strike or Bug Buzz to Chi-Yu? I feel like it might be Sunsteel Strike. I could just protect Ice Beam too. Protect Ice Beam isn't awful. Because I wouldn't want Chi-Yu next. Yeah, I think I actually do go for the Protect and Ice Beam. Do you have Snarl? If you have Snarl, this is not great. I also probably shouldn't have targeted the Zacian because Protect is super obvious. Oh, but they went aggressive. Okay, that works out really well for me. I think that's actually game winning, potentially. Zacian goes down. And now I can go for a Sunsteel Strike. It is Snarl, okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. Frosmoth eats that up. We can go for a Sunsteel Strike and a... We're going to go for Wide Guard here. Because the only way they can knock out Necrozma is with an Overheat now. And that means I get 2 Sunsteel Strikes off into Chi potentially, which would be really nice. And if they take the -2 special attack drop, that means Frosmoth should be able to wall. Yeah, that Sunsteel Strike does so much damage. Nice. Alright, game over. It's also covered because Bug Buzz should be doing enough damage to the Chi-Yu now. So we'll go for Sunsteel Strike. We'll go for Bug Buzz. No protects. All right, beautiful. Bug Buzz into Chi-Yu. Okay, I think I should have just went for the Woodhammer into the Zacian. If Woodhammer just KOs Zacian, probably does realistically. Which was a bad play on my part. I thought Ice Beam might have been able to do more because I was thinking, okay, Zacian has really good physical defense, but... I mean, it's kind of basically the same, I think, with special defense wise. So I think I should have went for the Woodhammer. I don't know why I thought Ice Beam was the better play there. I do think it was Woodhammer. And I probably should have went Necrozma for the Frosmoth slot because I need Frosmoth in order to beat the Chi-Yu. So yeah, like I need healthy or I just lose to the Chi-Yu. But thankfully was able to pull through. Like... They played very aggressive. I called a few of their aggressive plays and it worked out. Or I guess I got lucky. Lugia, Amoonguss, Urshifu, Suicune alongside Entei and Raichu. One heck of a team, I can tell you that much. I'm assuming that it is probably going to be Lugia. That is a... not easy Pokemon because you would assume it's Calm Mind Lugia. Like most Lugias are Calm Mind and it's pretty tough to deal with. If it's Covert Glow, there's not much I can really do other than bait the Terra and then the Necrozma can beat it. So I think my lead right here will be the Urshifu and the Heartflame Ogerpon because Heartflame Mold Breaker is actually really nice. It threatens a lot of damage into the Lugia, ignoring the ability, which is pretty nice. Just want to confirm, I'm pretty sure that I am faster with Ogerpon. Yeah, so that's actually a really good duo here. In the back, I definitely want to bring Necrozma, the last Pokemon. I kind of need a big way to... Do I need a big way to break through Suicune? Potentially. I would like answers to Amoonguss, but there's not really much that happens here. Do I go with... I think it's Raging Bolt. I think it's Raging Bolt. Let's see if I'm correct or not. Lando is like, doesn't really do much other than against the Entei. And I don't think Entei is kind of scary for my team because of the Dread of Sacred Fire. But otherwise, it doesn't really do that much against me. Frosmoth doesn't beat the Entei, so there's no point in bringing that. And then, yeah, it just doesn't do anything with, like, no wide guard support. Suicune plus the Entei is an interesting lead. Okay. I wonder how fast the Entei is, because that's a big question. I think I just want to Wicked Blow the Entei and I guess just Wood Hammer the Suicune. I could double the Entei. I could follow me. I don't know if I really want to click. Preventing the Ursh. Do I want to play games with the Entei? I feel like Suicune might Terra. Well, actually, for Terras, that's fine, right? Because that means you can't Terra with the Lugia. I think I want the KO on the Entei though, because Wicked Blow's not going to KO the Entei. They actually stayed in, no Terra. I get the Ivy Cudgel off an Entei. Pretty decent damage. Tailwind comes out. Wait, that's Suicune's max speed. That's fast. It outsped my Ursh. Please don't. Always punished. Oh, that's ugly. But it's the risk I did take. Wicked Blow into Entei. Alright. I will keep Ursh around because I still want it for Lugia. Because I want to force that Terra. I'm going to Spiky Shield with Ogerpon and switch into my Raging Bolt. Because Raging Bolt should be able to eat attacks just fine. And then threaten a Electroweb into this team, which is kind of nice. Alright, not a great start, of course. Not a great start. But I did gamble, so that is the risk I did take. Bring out the Raging Bolt, Spiky Shield with the Ogerpon. I'm surprised they let the Suicune vulnerable like they did, but alright. Scald going to come out into the Ogerpon. They could fire also into that slot. I wouldn't be surprised by. Oh, they went for it. Okay. No burn on that one. Just going to go for Electroweb, and I'm going to go for an Ivy Cudgel into the Entei. Again, I want damage into the Entei if possible. I could see... Okay, Snarl is going to come out, which is fine. No swaps. I'm surprised they have not been switching, but this works out fine for me. Sacred Fire into the Ogerpon. Take it. Again, more damage into Entei is always ideal. I would like to make sure that my Necrozma doesn't get burned. Missing an Electroweb. Okay, Suicune's not terrible. Hitting Entei is probably more important. Okay. Obviously, not the best start. I've taken a lot of damage. I've gotten a burn Urshifu. And now I have a -1 Raging Bolt. I don't think this is awful. The problem is beating Lugia is going to be so hard, but it's definitely manageable. We'll Spiky Shield here. It's super obvious, but like, I want Ogerpon around. Okay, nice. I can also Thunderclap the Entei, so I'm kind of surprised no Extreme Speed, but it works out. Electroweb. Nice. The leftovers on Suicune, that's not too surprising. Okay. Do I want to go Dark Ursh? Tailwind petered out. I could just Wood Hammer. I don't think Entei Extreme Speed KOs. Wood Hammer Recall probably knocks out the Ogerpon. I'm just going to go for Electroweb and Wood Hammer. You go for Extreme Speed. I don't think this KOs. Yeah, I didn't. Perfect. We get a Wood Hammer off. Okay, we KO'd a lead, which is nice. Goodbye, Suicune. The Ogerpon eliminated. Entei and Suicune are definitely two Pokemon that can burn my Necrozma, so I'm kind of glad about this, but at the same time, it's still not an easy game. We are able to KO the Entei. Still tough, but manageable. I don't know who is in the back, though. I think I'm going to go Ursh. Let's see who is coming out. What did they even have? I know it's Lugia, but like, what other Pokemon did they have? Oh, their own Ursh. Dark Ursh on Dark Ursh. Okay. scary. We're gonna go for Electroweb and close combat. I think the Ursh, because we would like to get a Dark Ursh before the Necrozma comes in. All right, we see a Terra. I think this is Lugia, but it might be Ursh. Okay, Lugia Terra is like I anticipated. Perfect. That's not what I anticipated. A Wicked Blow to Earth. Is it Scarf? Yeah, it's Scarf Ursh. No, it's not. Okay. Unless it is, I have no clue. They Earth powered, it's not going to KO. Sure. Electroweb coming out into the Ursh. Doesn't KO. It is nice damage. I don't know. This is just such a weird spot now. So close combat would knock out the Ursh. I don't think Sucker KOs the Ursh at mine. I guess we'll find out. I was debating about Sucker Punching the Ursh, but there's not really a point. I guess I'm just going to drop a Draco in the Ursh and I'm going to close combat the Ursh. Okay, no Sucker. I do KO the Ursh. Nice. That means I don't have to worry about big Wicked Blow or close combat coming out into my Raging Bolt, which is great. Question is, I have no idea if we're winning this 1v2. Probably not, but... All right, goodbye Raging Bolt. One super positive side about all of this is that Sunsteel Strike does actually go through Mold Breaker. Or it does have Mold Breaker properties, so I do go through multi-scale. Problem is, I have no idea if that's even going to be enough. I'm just going to spam damage with Photon Geyser at first and then Wicked Blow. Shouldn't be Rocky Helmet. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just recover Roost spam. Wicked Blow. Calm Mind, that's fine. Okay. How much does Photon Geyser do? Actually, a decent chunk. I think that's respectable. That is very respectable. Ursh still survives, which is good. I'm just going to spam Sunsteel Strike now. Yeah, I'm going to Sunsteel Strike and I'm going to Wicked Blow. In case they get enough recovery for multi-scale. Oh, that did way more than I'm anticipating. Yeah, they recover. Okay. I think we're fine. I don't know. They're recovering like slightly more than what I'm dealing with Necrozma, so it's still nowhere near over. Yeah, probably Photon Geyser here, and then I Sunsteel again. They only have up to 8. It's really going to depend on how much damage they're doing, man. And also, when they Earth Power, it depends on how much they do, because it's still kind of a mind game situation. They're going to recover, yep. Lugia versus Necrozma. Imagine this being the face down right here. I don't think you would ever anticipate that. Here comes Photon Geyser. If they recover here, then I break through that with the Mold Breaker properties of Sunsteel Strike. That's recovered 3, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Okay. They shouldn't recover here. Yeah, they should Earth Power always. Or Calm Mind again would have been fair. Okay, it's a gamble the next turn. Oh, it's a gamble the next turn. I would recover if I'm them. I would recover. Then again, do I think +1 Aeroblast KOs Necrozma? Dude, it's a Lugia. I'm just gonna, you know what? I'll risk my Terra. Why not? So what? 3 recovers. I'm kind of worried about like the amount, but we'll see. Terra normal now. I guess maybe I should Terra it earlier if I knew that Earth Power was most likely coming out because they saw the damage. Yeah, they recovered, which is always a smart play. Yep. I should have like tried to bait them into going for the Earth Power again, but this is fine. That was recover 4. I just feel they're recovering too much. That's my problem. I'm not out dealing the damage into Lugia. They are risking like a bunch of crits though, so if I get 1 crit, the Lugia is screwed. Well, I might need that crit sometime soon. I might need that crit sometime soon. Actually, it might be enough HP. I think I screwed this up. I think I screwed this up. Unless they had missed. Or they just crit my Necrozma, so... Valiant effort. Yeah. Was there much I could do? I mean, not really, right? I feel like a lot of the game went exactly how I want to do. I got the KO on the Urshifu in the late game. Like, the only literally early turns that messed me up was late as Sacred Fire burn into Ursh. And that's just like... It kind of stinks that like a lot of it came down to that Sacred Fire burn, but it's like, okay, if I follow me with Ogerpon, I take a lot of damage with Ogerpon. I'm risking future Sacred Fire burns regardless. Like, I just had to gamble, I think, on that one. Like, I think I was fine with a burn on Raging Bolt, but burn on Ursh turn 1 was not so likely good. Might have needed Landorus instead, but even if I brought Landorus, I don't know. Dan Lugia kind of has a better time against me. All right, let's go over to games. In game 1, wasn't really expecting the Trick Room Flutter Mane, but overall, they had a really tough time of being able to deal with Necrozma. I was able to get another Trick Room setup, and then Urshifu and Necrozma were basically able to do a ton of damage, which my opponent couldn't recover, while I was able to set up against a Koraidon for a perfect endgame. In game 2, Ursaluna Hard Switch was definitely not what I had anticipated, but I was still able to get some pretty good damage into the Cresselia and then made a bit of a risky gamble, decided to go with attacks on both since my opponent couldn't knock out both Pokemon. Got heavily rewarded as they got greedy, went for the Lunar Dance with the Cresselia, which meant I survived with both Pokemon, got the KO on Cresselia, was able to verse Trick Room, and then they had a really tough time with no Trick Room and was able to really threaten all of their Pokemon utilizing fast offensive threats. In game 3, I thought the lead was pretty good until I found out, oh man, it's Choice Banded Rillaboom with high horsepower on this team, which is not something I would have expected, which made this a lot more difficult, especially depending on if the Kyogre would have had Hydro Pump or not. So could have been very strange, but with the wide guard support on the Frosmoth, it ended up being really hard for my opponent to really be able to dish out enough damage, and I was able to set up for a really good end game for my Dark Urshifu and my Frosmoth to clean up the remaining Tornadus as well as the Rila. In game 4, it was looking like a rough start because I wasn't accounting for Dark Urshifu on this team instead of the Water Urshifu, and it ended up becoming problematic, especially when they revealed the Terrawire Terra Blast, which would play around the wide guard, so it ended up becoming a huge problem. It wasn't looking pretty good to win this game, but was able to get 1 Raid Ride into the Calyrex Shadow Rider, which was, does Calyrex Shadow Rider protect against a Sucker Punch threat of Urshifu, or do I just go straight for the Wicked Blow? And I was able to get the Wicked Blow onto their Protect Read right and able to win the game based off that turn. In game 5, Zacian is really tough, especially with that Terra Ground option alongside Chiyu. It was not looking pretty. I do think I had a pretty solid start though. I kind of wish I was able to get a Wood Hammer off into the Zacian, because the Wood Hammer into Zacian would have probably picked up the knockout and helped secure the game. But across the board, was able to capitalize a little bit off getting that Trick Room up with the Necrozma, which was super clutch. Ogerpon surviving the turn was great on the switching, as I was able to redirect, prevent the Encore, and Necrozma was able to do a ton of damage and set up a clean endgame under Trick Room to win with Frosmoth. In game 6, Lugia is kind of rough if I'm not able to put on a lot of pressure because of the terror that they can have to get rid of its typing, so Dark Urshifu isn't as effective. I was able to get some pretty strong damage. However, gaining burn turn 1 from the Sacred Fire was just a risk I had to take, and it did not work out well. I could have maybe got rid of the Suicune early because the Terra saving for Lugia was a bit obvious, but I did have a lot of answers to Suicune, so I do think I needed to prioritize getting rid of the Entei, which I did. However, I didn't exactly bring the best Entei answer, so I might have needed Landers, even if that meant sacrificing a tool I could have used against Lugia. So what do I think about Frosmoth in Necrozma in Regulation G? Frosmoth's one of my favorite Pokemon in Generation 9 overall. In the previous formats, I thought the Quiver Dance set was beautiful. The defensive wide guard support with safety goggles, I felt like it was pretty decent, but it wasn't as strong as it was previously. I think with the Quiver Dance being able to sweep, I do think that was something I really did enjoy with the old set, but I don't think this Frosmoth set was too bad. It is a bit strange, I think, because I think having Intimidate would really help out, or some way to reduce the physical output of your opponent's team, because Frosmoth still does struggle a lot against physical attackers, I believe, in this format as well, and there are a lot of them running around. Necrozma, I did like Necrozma a lot in Gen 7. Gen 8 wasn't the biggest fan of it, and it's not that bad in Gen 9. It's just really awkward because it feels like it does have really good stats across the board. The Steel type is great, Prism Armor plus Clear Amulet is even good, but it always feels like it's not doing enough of one thing, and it's not super succeeding in getting the knockouts. I think with Sunsteel Strike and Photon Geyser, the coverage is decent for like common Pokemon, like you're able to hit Urshifu, Amoonguss. Sunsteel Strike's not bad overall, but it is still vulnerable, I think, to just strong output in general. Its speed tier is weird, so it's not as oppressive as the other Trick Room users. But overall, I don't think they were bad Pokemon, and I do think that they were able to showcase some strong suits in today's video. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. If you'd like to check out the rental code is on your screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time this video comes out, and of course subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.